them know. The good vibes just begin to flow. So whether reggae or calypso, my music is message galore. And I must let you know, I will open the door. But from now every song is a positive one.
So tell them,
let them know. The King Man continue to grow.
and he's growing as the days progress. How about you? Huh? Congratulations to the finalists. Wow, we've got a newcomer that heads straight into the final. Yeah.
Once my soul was lost, I didn't know the cost of my transgressions. My sins was
Pastor Stanford Simon, good morning to you. And the organizing committee for the Redemption campaign that concluded yesterday. Blessed Messenger. Yeah, he's in the house too.
So now with my talent,
folks, it's 28 minutes on to 7 o'clock.
Magnify his name.
Those of you who are just getting up, this is a good way to get up.
It's a vibes from above I am bringing.
Yeah.
Inspired by the heaven.
Roll John T.D. Gans, good morning to you and the family, your mom.
Brothers and my sister.
You good?
So let us sing and let us shout from the rooftop all about. We will sing the sweet refrain. The Almighty live and reign. Tell them, let them know. I'm knocking on heaven's door. Satan will not mama guide me no more.
Not at all.
Now my eyes are open, I know this.
Yeah.
They could jump, I jump. They say backslide, I say
no.
When the heavenly roll call, King Man they may missing at all. Tell them, let them know. I don't take the plunge, I'm ready to go.
Good morning to you, Mr. Aiden Slinger. Hey. I've got to call you a little later, yeah? The guitar thing, partners had to play guitar in the church, so we had to do some work, alright? Yeah. Mr. Eugene Gittins, good morning to you, my bro. How do you do?
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, in His holy name, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name.
Yeah. Good. Nice. Good morning. 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Mary Banks says good morning. Good morning to you, Mary. Also, Catherine Phillip. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Innocent. Happy New Week. Same to you, my dear. Marian Williams. Good morning, everyone. Arthur Langine. Good morning, Monday morning, my brother and friend from me in beautiful Brooklyn. Are you sure Brooklyn beautiful, boy? That's the only place I know crane does fall from the sky. Be careful up there, bro. You didn't know I could dance now? Alright. Bro, you ain't coming home. The vacation long. Samuel Danso, good morning to you all. We are praying for good luck to come on our way this week. Well, yeah. I don't believe in luck, you know. Luck is preparedness meeting with opportunity. That's my version of luck. You prepare and the opportunity comes, you grab onto it. Yeah. Morning, Pastor Laurie and family. Good morning to you. How you doing? All right. I don't want to run out of time, so let's get to the program. We've got the cultural tip for today from the Grenada Cultural Foundation. And it says, before, the jab was played only by men. The first known female jab player revealed to this author was Catho from Tivoli, closely followed by Miss Tibbs from Riversally. Now, these ladies played in the 60s with the likes of Dijon and Cacafair. In Tivoli itself, Cacafair, Dijon, Henry, Big Little, and Miss Torres were all king jab players. Montrose had Stalin and Rasta Bob. In Lafayette, Irock, Strikling, and Darius, and in Paraclete, Dust, Ajar, Chaisi, and two ladies, Voilo and Extreme. The known player in Hermitage was Sepa, and La Portrie had their own jab band with Premier Fenric and Zaize. Alright, Frankie, a naturally born jab player, was in Springs, and Sabinos and Blacks from Pedmota. We also know of the famous Carmichael from Windsor Forest and the talented Tartan from St. Paul's. There are many of there might have been other bands, but every informant spoken to mentioned Bylands as having the biggest and baddest jab band, with Koropang and Bodiba in the early 70s. Those were the days when jab had their discipline. Board boxes to hold the serpents, the red paints or the red pants, and the magic boxes when you had to pay a penny to see, and the spelling on the Bible. It was then that they produced their greatest theatrics. Those were the days when you were either a player or a spectator. You couldn't have been both. And that was a cultural tip from the Grenada Cultural Foundation. Good morning to you, Mr. Livingston Nelson. As a matter of fact, I'll be having him as a guest this morning. I should be having Muscles with me subsequently, so we look forward to that. All right, so let's get into the program. The word of the day. The word of the day today is an adjective. It is the word ancillary. Ancillary. All right. Now, ancillary is an adjective used in formal speech and writing as a synonym of supplementary to describe things that provide something additional to a main part or function of something else. Ancillary can also mean of lower or secondary class or rank. Now, here's how we can use the word. One ancillary benefit of Beatrice's job at the movie theater is the ability to catch an early glimpse of new releases. We can also say her job is to oversee the flagship store and its ancillary outlets. Those are two ways that we can use the word ancillary. Write it down, jot it down, learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it, learn to use it in your writing or your speech. Good morning to you, Nadisha. How are you? This is your segment, The Thought of the Day. And it says, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. Do not be afraid to fail, all right? Do not be afraid to fail. Let's look at it. F-A-I-L, fail. What it means? First attempt in learning. Did you know that? Yeah, first attempt in learning. That's what fail means. All right, so do not be afraid to fail. It gives you the opportunity to do something a different way because you know this way didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Nice. Failure is part of the game. Rising up after the failure, that is what matters. That is what counts. Hence the reason oftentimes you would hear me say that a successful man is a man that rises one more time than he falls. You fall, you fail, you get up, you dust yourself up, and you get up again. That's when you're a success. Nice. So what's buzzing this morning? Let's see what's buzzing this morning. Well, I want to take the opportunity formally and say thank you on behalf of the sponsors and the management and staff of the Maggie King of the Grill that took place on Saturday at the Manrouge playing field. Despite the little inclemency of the weather, you turned out in your great numbers, large numbers, to be a part of it, and we say a heartfelt thank you from the management and staff of the GBN and all the sponsors and all the competitors in the event, all the patrons. Thank you. All right, preparations are now going to commence for next year's event. Okay, last night we had in the calendar of events, we had the Melody Papitet Calypso semi-final. And the list is out. Yeah, some big names in there, boy. And I know we have quite a number of disappointed artists, but that's all part of the game, right? Buzzing this morning, Team Grenada, winner of the CBN/Win Lotto Windward Island Schools Games. Well, you know, they can't come home and beat us, you know, that can't happen. It's not going to happen, not under my watch. So congratulations to the team who participated, represented Grenada proudly. Good. The finalists for the Soca Monarch, the Power Soca Monarch, Dash, Robulus, Talpri, Muddy, Shamak, Lil Jello, Squeezehead, Looney Spark and Electrify, Boise, Mr. Walkie, and Hits. As a matter of fact, I've extended an invitation to Hits to drop by tomorrow, so let's see. Nice. The groovy finalists, Dash, Terra the Governor, Lil Jello, Super Flying Flint. Boy, he's got energy, boy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Rooney J, Valine, Blackadan, Looney Spark and Electrify, Boise, Mr. Walkie, and Mr. Golden. Now, folks, there's an artist that we've got to keep our eyes on. He's coming and he's coming and he's coming, okay? Yeah, he's coming and coming and coming. I'm talking about Mr. Walkie. Yeah, congratulations to you, boy. Keep the flag of St. David flying high as always. And the finalists in the Calypso competition. The Calypso final comes up on Thursday. That Thursday coming the following one. And the list of the finalists are as follows. Not by points, but by alphabetical order. Okay. Papa Jerry, Rootsman Kelly, Randy Isaac, Big J, I Am G, Pecos, Valine, Sour Serpent, Prince, and Superstar. Hey, my girl in, boy. Yeah, congratulations to all those of you. Congratulations are in order. I wish you all the best come the final of the Calypso competition. Can't call it the match grab because it's not on the Sunday night, alright? Good. What else is buzzing this morning? Plants distributed as part of the annual plant distribution sale by the Ministry of Agriculture and not for resale. That confirmation of this was presented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Aaron Francois. Good morning, Mr. Aaron. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Give your wife my regards. Happened to meet up a couple months back. I think it was last year, you know. Yeah. Right, with the peak of the carnival season closely approaching, members of the RGPF engaged the media to inform the public of some of the measures that will be taken to ensure that Carnival 2023 is incident-free. Good morning to you, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Vanny Corwin, and your team. As usual, you always do an excellent job. You're, an exceptional guy. Keep up the espirico, man. All right. So those are the buzzing stories this morning. We've got to take that break because we've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather for you here on Classic. Those of you on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Before we go, let me quickly see who else is here. All right. Good. Lauren Charles, good morning, my dear friend. Happy Monday to everyone. Thanks, and same to you. Roger Rogers, good morning, sweet Grenada. Try to have a safe day from... What? Grintrin? Okay, from Trinidad. Okay. All right. Be safe, puppy. All right. Marilyn Gordon says, good morning. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, everyone. Blessed Monday to all. Karen E. Charles, good morning, my teacher. I do know you don't call Everest, the brother, the bomber from the belly, Upper St. John, and Burjo from Hermitage. Brejo, okay. You're not ready to talk about Jav yet until I call these names. All right. Ann Salandi, good morning to everyone. And Beverly Penny says good morning. Folks, we've got to take that break. We've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather coming up. Don't you go anywhere.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening, I'm Kenroy Batiste. Top story, the Dr. Trevor Friday Power Soca Monarch semi-final is on at Progress Park, St. Andrew this evening. 31 artists will vie for a chance to secure a spot in the final of the competition. This evening's lineup will see the return of several former Power Soca Monarchs, including five-time Monarch Boise, as well as former Power and Road March Kings, Tolpri and Inspector, Boogie B and Sheldon Douglas. Also included in the lineup is the youngest artist to participate in competition, 16-year-old Kamat Williams, who goes by the stage name Young Matt. Baby L and former Road March winner Miney are the only two females in competition, in addition to the other artists who are seeking to dethrone the reigning two-time Power Soca Monarch, Terror the Governor. The Dr. Trevor Friday Power Soca Monarch semi-final is scheduled to commence at 8 o'clock this evening. Meanwhile, from 26 to 11, with one female competitor, Billy Ned secured her place on the big stage following what was dubbed a successful Brian Griffith Groovy semi-final at Progress Park in St. Andrew on Thursday night. The lone female will compete against Dash, Terror the Governor, Little Jello, Super Flying Flint, Blackadan, Rooney J, Looney Spark and Electrify, Boise, Mr. Walkie, and Mr. Golden. It's now on to the final of the Groovy Monarch, scheduled for Friday, August 11. Now, the Royal Grenada Police Force is cautioning the public that there is a zero-tolerance policy for carrying offensive weapons during the festive season. More from Rena Pear Thomas.
Top cops within the Royal Grenada Police Force have indicated that one of their greatest concerns is the tendency among young people to carry offensive weapons to attend events. Officer in charge of operations in the RGPF, John Mitchell, says there is a no-tolerance policy for carrying offensive weapons during the festive season.
With regards to offensive weapons, if you have cutlasses, leave it for your gardens. If you have knives, leave it, especially to our young men, leave it to assist your moms in the kitchen. It is not the trending thing to do to be walking and driving around with knives and cutlasses. There will be absolutely no discretion from the police officers on the street. Anyone found with offensive weapon, there will not be discretion. You will be arrested.
Acting Commissioner of Police Don McKenzie disclosed that in a recent routine search operation, a significant number of offensive weapons was confiscated from several persons.
There were a couple of juveniles that was coming from the coronary area into Wharf. And of course we did our searches and we found some knives. And in listening to the young fellas, it was almost like it is the sexy thing to do to work with knives. The question is, what can we do to change the narrative? What can we do as a country? What can we do as the media? What can we do from every nook and corner? Every corner to change the narrative. The young individuals saw nothing wrong until, of course, when you brought their parents in, they realized, no, there's something not right about it.
The commissioner said while the police force may not have all the answers, something must be done to effect meaningful change.
The question is, what can we do to change the narrative? What can we do as a country? What can we do as the media? What can we do from every nook and corner? Every corner to change the narrative that is not okay to be walking, to be carrying a knife. The question of willy-nilly just, it's okay. We have a youth population. We have some young persons. And I think as an organization, as a country, we have to put some emphasis on the youths. I'm not sure that the police has all the answers, but it would require the input of all.
Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
All right, thanks, Beverly. With the peak of the carnival season closely approaching, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force engaged the media on Friday to inform the public of some of the measures that will be taken to ensure that Carnival 2023 is incident-free. The rest of the details in this report.
The Royal Grenada Police Force is pulling out all the stops to ensure that its strategies for ensuring an incident-free carnival is effective. As part of its efforts, the RGPF has undertaken a comprehensive assessment and report to plan its approach. According to ACP John Mitchell, who is in charge of operations within the RGPF, officers will maintain a visible presence at various events and activities for the season, and random searches will be conducted.
You would certainly see, as our citizens, our visitors, you would see an increased law enforcement present and operation. You would see preemptive patrols. Some you would understand, you would know which will be our overt ones, and our covert ones you will not see. But we are placing continuous emphasis on those areas, such as hotspots and vulnerable communities, attraction sites, and places of entertainment. Our Coast Guard department is also augmenting this operational process in terms of dealing with any issues that is at sea. Additionally, when you are at the venue, please expect that there will be physical, surveillance, and technical, comprehensive, random screening of individuals.
He explained that no vendors are allowed to sell beverages in glass bottles to the public.
We also want to advise the general public that absolutely no drinks should be sold in glass bottles at any event, whether it be private, during the carnival period, or during the national events. Additionally, a comprehensive traffic management plan will be tailored, in fact is tailored, for all the events that are upcoming. Some of the observable operational strategies will include multiple vehicular checkpoint systems. Some will be fixed, some will be roving, some will be at the outer parishes, some will be at the suburbs, and some will be very close to the venue. We want to advise persons, and especially is dealing with licensed firearm holders. We have had a few incidents of this before, where persons come to venues with their licensed firearms. We do not want that. This will not be allowed. If you still do not feel it's safe at home, turn in your firearm to the nearest police station. We will take care of it for you, and upon your return, we will release it back to you.
The senior RGPF official also reminded performers that permission is needed if they plan to use any form of police clothing as a prop for their stage performance.
For those events, please note that open flames, aerosol cans are strictly prohibited. Persons who are intending to use specifically as props police uniforms, note that the regulation requires that you apply to the Minister of National Security through the Commissioner of Police for that. Do not come on stage with the police gazetted uniform, whether it be regular or SSU uniform, for your props.
The officer was speaking at a media press conference on Friday morning at the police headquarters. For GBN News, I am Rena Pet Thomas.
Rena Pet Thomas reporting there. Dr. Decima Williams, President of the Senate, has been ordered to rest by her doctors. The nature of her medical condition has not been disclosed, but she was unable to preside over Parliament on July 26. It was at that sitting that Nolan Cox, Deputy President, informed the House.
Honorable members, it is with regret I wish to inform this Honorable House that our Madam President is not in the best of health and has sent her regards for today's proceedings. And I, on behalf of members, have conveyed in regards for her to get well as soon as possible so that she can be back to join us in this honorable chamber. She is doing well, but she is resting on the orders of her doctor. So we wish the President speedy recovery so that she can join us going forward.
All right, so during the first working session of the 11th Parliament for the Upper House on October 11, 2022, Nolan Cox was nominated for the role of Vice President by Senator Adrian Thomas, Leader of Government Business, which was seconded by Senator David Andrew. This story to a report, Republic Bank is taking decisive action to reduce its carbon footprint, specifically greenhouse gases generated by electricity made from fossil fuels. We get more on the bank's initiative in this report.
Republic Bank Grenada Limited officially turned off the switch which previously facilitated the flow of electricity generated from fossil fuel for over 27 years at its corporate headquarters on Maurice Bishop Highway in Grandance. The bank is opting instead for the more environmentally friendly photovoltaic or PV solar system to generate electricity at its head office. Commenting on the initiative, Acting General Manager of Operations at Republic Bank, Ms. Mavis McBurney, said, "Our aim is to totally transition our energy consumption from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources and thus significantly lessen the total carbon emission produced by the bank annually." Republic House was chosen to pilot this project, and with this success, plans are on stream to install PV systems on all buildings where the bank conducts its operations. In October 2020, Republic Financial Holdings Limited, of which Republic Bank Grenada is a subsidiary, signed the United Nations Principles of Responsible Banking, thereby pledging to support global efforts to end poverty, reduce inequality, and combat climate change. The Principles of Responsible Banking consist of a single framework for a sustainable banking industry developed through partnership with banks around the world and the United Nations Environment Program Finance Initiative. Republic Bank's transition to renewable energy is in direct alignment to Sustainable Development Goal number 13, climate action. Republic Bank expects to optimize the benefit from this program, given that its operating hours and maximum load coincides with peak generation, that is, daylight hours. Further, the bank anticipates less vulnerability to global oil prices volatility, as well as a significant reduction in energy costs. Christina John, GBN News.
Other news this year, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council has teamed up with the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program SIAP to roll out a program designed to promote healthy eating habits among young participants. More details in this report.
When I got there, I was nervous and I didn't really think I would get to take part in a lot of stuff. But now that I'm here today, I get to take part in a lot of stuff and cook the banana cheese balls, the tarts, and also pizza. I want to prove to my parents that I'm actually going to be a chef in the family.
But I actually like it here because I get to cook and I get to learn how to prepare my own foods. I want to prove to mommy that I'm not useless and I don't only go in the fridge and eat, so that I can also make something.
That was Kibwe Evans and Limaya Francis sharing news about the successful completion of Curious Little Hands in the Kitchen summer camp. The camp was designed to promote healthy eating habits among young participants. The 3-week program featured activities centered around Grenada's food-based dietary guidelines, with its primary focus on encouraging low-sodium intake and increased consumption of fruits and vegetables in their daily diet. This initiative aims to instill in children the importance of making healthier and more nutritious food choices from an early age, ensuring a healthy and well-balanced lifestyle. The camp's itinerary was thoroughly and thoughtfully curated to engage and educate the young participants in a variety of ways. Activities such as devotions and sign language sessions have also been integrated into the schedule to promote holistic growth and inclusivity. The students were engaged in theory-based cooking lessons geared at providing a basic understanding of nutrition and culinary techniques. However, the main highlight was the hands-on experiences in the kitchen, where the young culinary enthusiasts were able to unleash their creativity and passion for cooking, preparing age-appropriate and child-friendly recipes that can be effortlessly recreated at home with little to no supervision. One of the facilitators of the summer camp is Wendy Adlam.
We use fruits and vegetables in non-traditional ways. For example, we had the wax apple tart. So instead of the tart being filled with coconut or jam, we used wax apple. We also focus on having the children use natural seasonings instead of the bottled and packaged seasonings that we have on the market. They were encouraged to drink their water. All of those are part of the dietary guidelines.
Saturo Plutin, another facilitator, was responsible for guiding students in crafting nutritious dishes.
This is a foundation of children that they will come with a positive mind, how to learn to use what we will have here, what grow up in Grenada, utilize in healthy stuff. And this they go bring the message to the school, to the family. So this is great. For every year we want to increase more and more because that's our future. We have to discipline and educate our future because what you're eating is what bringing you in life.
The summer camp culminated on Friday. In the coming year, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council will be rolling out its dietary guidelines campaign to promote healthy eating for the ultimate reduction in non-communicable diseases. Christina John, GBN News.
All right, so on land, it's the issue of derelict vehicles. On the seaside, it's the issue of abandoned vessels. It's time to take a peek into the GBN ISOL lens.
In tonight's GBN ISOL, we feature the contents of a recent journey of coastal exploration by Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and other government officials who ventured along the southern coast where they closely observed and identified derelict boats. The initiative underscores the significance of addressing abandoned vessels and their impact on the marine environment. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Parents, do you go to bed with the knowledge that your children are comfortably asleep in the next room? Or are they allowed to attend every fete advertised? You are responsible for the safety and well-being of your children, and it is your responsibility to know their whereabouts. Children should not be at adult events. Please guide your children, engage them in age-appropriate activities. Let us be spicy parents for this carnival season and beyond. S. Speak to your children about positive behavior. P. Pay attention to them at all times. I. Inspire good behavior in your children by also displaying good behavior. C. Check with your children. Always know their whereabouts. Y. You are responsible for your children. Maintain control to keep them safe. This is a message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Thompson, co-owner and founder of Grenada Tours, Taxi and Rental. We provide transportation tours in the field of tourism. Being in the field of tourism, the pandemic have taught us that we need all the help we can get, which the NIF has been very helpful in doing so. But as a small business owner, we are even more excited right now with the new initiative that the NIF have launched, providing a little bit more flexibility for small businesses like ourselves. So we definitely encourage all of the small business to consider getting on board with the NIF and this new initiative that allows the level of flexibility that they have implemented.
So it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
My name is Alimaka Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
Carriacou is the place to be. August 4th to the 7th for the 50th year of the Carriacou Regatta Festival. The Carriacou Regatta Festival, which is the longest sailing event in the region, is celebrated under the theme Timeless Culture on the Sea. Come join us for 4 days of exciting and competitive boat racing from Friday to Monday. Fun games, day and night parties, road marathon, Miss Teen Regatta, night boat cruises, the foreign artist show, donkey race, and greasy pole are some of the activities to look forward to. For more info, contact the Regatta Jumper on 473-443-7930. The Carriacou Regatta Festival 2023, August 4th to the 7th. Sail by day, party by night. Carriacou welcomes you.
Get ready to catch all the action. The CPL returns August 16th to September 24th. Be watching.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard On Plus.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything Carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things Carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
From your daily stress with a Grenada vacation at the Koyaba Beach Resort. Koyaba is located on the world-famous Grenada Beach and boasts 5.5 acres of beautiful garden. We offer excellent service, good food and drink, well-appointed rooms and friendly staff in a safe environment. Facilities include 2 restaurants, 2 bars, swimming pool, water sports, tennis, gym and body treatment rooms. Call 473-444-4129.
At the NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivor's benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We we are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
All right. Good morning, and welcome to the conversation. I'm going to do something that is not internationally accepted, but we'll have to do it. My guest Muscles, could you come a little closer so that I want people to see you clearly? All right, lovely. Good, folks. I'm joined this morning, as I hinted to you. I'm joined by two goodly gentlemen. One is obviously better looking than the other. I wouldn't disclose which one is the better looking one.
Thanks for the compliment. Thank you for
All right. I'm joined on a serious note, folks. I'm joined with Mr. Livingston Nelson. He is the CEO of the Grenada Cultural Foundation. And my brother from another mother, Calypsonian, everything, good friend, buddy, everything, Raphael, Patrick, Muscles, George.
You got that.
All right, so it's Livingston Nelson, my good friend. He left the institution where I started teaching just before I started. I saw him teach. He left just before. But I know Livingston from a little boy in Tivoli, RC, and so forth. So, gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning, and to all your listeners outside there. Good morning.
Good morning, Grenada. Oh, it's so much a pleasure to be here. You wouldn't believe. Remember?
Yeah.
When I write in my little thing and saying, man, I looking at you every morning and I just bleeding to be home.
Right.
I'm here now. It's pinch myself. Make sure I'm sitting down. Yeah, man. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
That's how the world is now. Yeah. Muscles talks to me every morning. From
from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
All the way in Orange, in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So.
You know, as a matter of fact, a lady told me that her mother almost flogged her because she was calling you regularly, and the mother asked her, "What happened? You opening a boutique or what?" She said, "Why?" She said, "Well, I look at my phone bill and it's only New Jersey."
All right.
So, on a serious note now, Mr. Nelson, the Cultural Foundation. I want this morning to be relatively educational and informative in that for folks who do not know, there are folks who still get misled with the Cultural Foundation, its role, and also the Spice Mass Corporation. So this morning you are going to differentiate what is the Cultural Foundation and what is its mandate really.
Well, in a simple term, the Cultural Foundation is everything culture.
Okay.
Just in a simple term. So we are responsible for the researching of our culture, giving support to cultural artists, identifying cultural artists or practitioners or cultural, I wouldn't want to say artifacts, but part of our patrimony, like our lakes, our forts, etc. We are responsible for giving support. We are responsible for promoting. We are responsible for documenting. We are responsible for archiving, etc. All the works by the Cultural Foundation. Because we work with a small budget, what you find happening, we choose and pick what we can actually take on at the moment. So that is culture. So as it relates to carnival, we are responsible for helping, example, like the traditional mass. So we were responsible for developing a database. We did a database. We brought everybody together. We have a WhatsApp chat, and we keep on giving them information. You would know we did the Calypso series. We're doing documenting our Calypsos, etc. So we are doing that. Spice Mass role is whatsoever product is there to take it and to use it for promotional purposes only, exhibition. So Spice Mass now would take our traditional bands members and they would have them schedule them for carnival during carnival time, the Calypso, etc. So Spice Mass is not for the development of the product. But so I hope people are seeing or hearing what I say, seeing what I'm saying, because you would see the need for us to have a close tie, or maybe under one heading, and that is the thinking right now, that we should be under one heading. So we inform the policy, we inform the direction. So whatsoever happens, it should be for the total promotion of Grenada's culture.
Well, having explained it that way, I see Cultural Foundation as the parent and Spice Master as the child.
Yeah. Well, that is how we. Yeah. But what you find happening right now is Spice Master is almost autonomous. Like once a year carnival comes, Spice Master have their own say. They dictate what they do. They are not being then. They cannot be advised. Well, let me just say they can be advised, of course, but it's up to them to decide what they want to do with any of the product that they have. So we cannot say, well, we would want you to have a greater promotion of our traditional mass band. We would want you to focus on this or that for carnival.
So they're not obligated to.
They're not obligated to do anything. So they have their own say. So that is why I'm saying there must be a greater synergy going forward if we have to do anything toward the while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a red flag that went into my head as you said that you operate on a small budget. Now an institution, and I refer to it as an institution, an institution of that level of importance, why is it running on a small budget? Is it that the powers that be are not mindful of the importance and significance of it?
There is always that. The culture is usually ahead, and cultural practitioners are usually ahead of the thinking of the politicians. And it takes a lot of fight, and I mean, my brother Moses can always say it takes a lot of fight to get the powers to see the importance. So it's like, example, like to see the importance of our cultural product.
Yeah.
So the country, we might be able to make 7, 8, maybe 20 million out of carnival.
Yeah.
But how much would the government see the need to invest, to seriously invest, and not invest just in carnival time, but invest in the practitioners like the muscles, invest in them, and see how they could build that product and have policies that would reflect a year-round promotion of Grenadian culture.
I mean, that's how it should be. Now
they are always slow. They are always slower. I mean, some places there's a little catching up, like in places like in Guadeloupe and Martinique, like example, like which is not even independent. They actually teach the culture in schools. So 50-60% of the population coming out of school they can sing a song that is unique to them. They can dance, they can drum. Lawyers, doctors, everybody have passed through that, so they know. In Trinidad, they know we have that, where they have drumming and dancing. We know are advocating for that kind of thing, and actively advocating for that, because the powers that be over the years have not seen that. So we're not leaving it up to chance. We are also pushing that this present administration must get the act together, but we're not waiting for them to say they're ready. We have to be the forces that lobbying, knocking on the door and say, you're missing something.
Now the fact that a very interesting and heart-touching news item I read sometime last week with the introduction of Grenadian history into the school's curriculum for the first and second formers. Do you think that is an indication that the current administration is, visioning in that line, where we can see more emphasis being placed on the holistic approach of culture?
Muscles, why you think?
Well, I'm not well versed and educated like you all in this, but this would be a very good thing, of course, because our culture should be taught in. My daughter is 30 years old, and I'm sure if you ask her aspect about the revolution, and she went to the school like Anglican High School, if you ask her aspect about the revolution, just the revolution we had in 79 to 83, she might hardly know exactly details, besides what I tell her, but because she didn't learn that in school. So this would be a perfect initiative, you're teaching this, and the culture, Mr. Livingston Nelson is a man in culture from way back. That's why I know him. He born in that, So when I heard that he was, doing this job, who else is better to because that's not the first interview I heard him with, and he's pushing for, advocating for all these things and I really applaud it, you know.
So let me come in here. I think the idea of the history is a really good start. It to me is the correct thinking, and this administration is seeing the merit. Because you have to have a certain mindset to recognize that if we don't teach our history, that we basically doomed. There is
we
no
lost it. Yeah.
policy, economic policy, development, any country, particularly like our size, could use to develop the nation without what we call nationalism. If we don't teach pride in our people, if we don't teach about the things that belong to us, we might have what we call laissez-faire and sporadic attempt of economic development. But trust me, it ain't going nowhere. We're still spinning top in mud. It's only when you recognize the worth of your people and you recognize our collective consciousness as a people that I would want to support Innocent or Muscles, because Muscles is selling this, you are selling that. You are from here. I would, the people and them that know the history. I mean, years ago I did a poem and I said the Chinaman would live from the one end of Toronto and go to a Chinese store to buy from a Chinaman. The Italian would go to an Italian restaurant, and when you go to irrespective of which country they are, the Italian will go. We sure, we're so smart and we're so independent. We go and we purchase from everybody else except our own brothers and sisters, because we are so free. We can do anything we want, and because we don't have that pride and that level of consciousness, the money we make, it moves out from our community so fast because we lack that level of consciousness.
I want to jump in here too, not just as the interviewer, but also, give my 2 pence. And I think with that approach, the moment that we sensitize our people about our people's things, right? What make us Grenadian? What make us unique? A Grenadian experience is unique to that of Trinidad. And the moment that we as a people get to recognize and be able to identify our uniqueness, then it changes a whole lot of things, because Grenadians would know that this is my country. I am preserving it for my future generations. So therefore, I need not get involved in crime and violence.
Exactly.
I will not do things that will deter foreigners from coming in to invest and spend the money here as tourists that would eventually develop our economic status and so forth. So I think a self-awareness approach, by letting us know where we came from, where we are, and with knowing who we are, where we can go. And I think that is...
I usually say I'm when I'm outside there, I'm an ambassador. I get a line from King of Senate in a Calypso, and I'm an ambassador for Grenada without an office, because I tell everybody about this island, how peaceful we are. So when I heard the Prime Minister this morning talking on the news that he almost witnessed, gun, but I never heard that before.
The former Prime Minister.
The former Prime Minister. I'm so sorry. My apology. I mean, I've never heard this before, and it kind of bothers me to know that Grenada, I push Grenada in this peaceful way every time. Tell people come home. You can leave your house open. I leave my car open, all the time, and nobody, bother you. People, this gun thing in the street like we hear in another regional. And
we're not used to that.
We're not used to that. This is not, and I don't want to get there at all.
We have a caller on the line. Let's take that call. Good morning, caller.
A pleasant good morning. I would like to butt in here, and I don't know who is who, but one of your guests was saying that, as far as the culture is concerned, nothing is being done. I'd like to correct this, if I'm speaking correctly. I remember when appeals were made to people who were involved in the revolution to come forward, say something, and quite a lot of them they were shy, fearing that if they come out and really say this is this and that is this, they can be charged, brought to jail. This is what hearsay. I know for a fact that Maurice Patterson wrote a book, and of course there was very little response to that. I remember him writing that book and offered it for sale, but I don't know where he is now. So again, there seems to me that there's something that is preventing those who were actually involved in the revolution, had some fear in coming out to say, well, this is this, that is that, and the other. I don't know, Gordon, if you could remember that. Mr. Joseph, sorry.
Yes. Well, you could call me Gordon. You could call me that too. No problem. Okay, thank you for your contribution, caller. Thank you for your concern and your contribution.
The caller misconstrued probably what we were saying. What we are saying is that it's a really positive step in teaching the history, so we applaud that. But we're also saying that culture is not embraced in such a way. We don't teach culture in school. We don't do that. So we are saying that we have to be an advocate. We have to be there lobbying so that to ensure that culture becomes part of the school curriculum. But we also believe that history is a precursor, is the first step, and we applaud the government on that. So culture is not that. I know the book about Maurice Patterson is basically was more historical context of what took place in Grenada. It was not such a book on culture. I just forget the name right now, but I know I did a lengthy observation or maybe reading of his work, and it was excellent in terms of the detail he presented in this book.
He documented it well.
Yes, yeah. I mean, for the first time he was talking about Gary walking around with steel pan, and actively promoting that. I mean, there was so much information about the who is everybody's toes and the rich men and how they live their life in Grenada, and some really detail about what took place mainly in the Tongue area, and he actually touched on a few things that took place in the revolution. So
all right, folks, it's 29 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. I'm speaking here this morning on the conversation with Mr. Livingston Nelson. He is the CEO of the Grenada Cultural Foundation and culture Calypso representative there, Patrick Muscles George. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade.
You mentioned the wing high, then you have things like Manumos, must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and the YouTube channel for We Culture.
You know, one day I woke up and, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. Nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Records at the Traffic Department shows that a total of 1,447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming.
I'll tell you, Master, I'm a radar. Girl, I'm a radar. I don't care now. Jump pull up in the area. Pull up in a ranger. They wanna who's a stranger. I don't care now. I don't care about the neighbor.
When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
Cricket fans, here's your opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Republic Bank CPL Final in Guyana, inclusive of airfare and hotel accommodation in the TV6 Republic Bank CPL Trivia Contest. There are also weekly prizes of tickets to the Republic Bank CPL matches and branded merchandise from TV6 and the Caribbean Premier League. To enter, simply download the TV6 app from the Google or Apple Store. Click on the TV6 RBL CPL Contest tab, answer the weekly trivia question, and submit your electronic entry form. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Download the TV6 app to be a winner.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath. Eliminate violence.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. The conversation this morning, I'm talking with Mr. Livingston Nelson, the CEO of the Cultural Foundation, the Grenada Cultural Foundation, and Calypsonian Muscles. Before we get back deep into the conversation, I always like to engage our WhatsApp and Facebook contributors. Selma Scott says, good morning, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Mildred Scott, good morning, beautiful soul of the Tri-Island State. My host, Mr. Innocent Gordon, good morning. Arthur Langine says, Grenada laws are all on the radio. I never heard of anyone being arrested. All right, Paula Paul, good morning, sis. Still in bed. Child from Fundy. All right, morning, Paula Paul. Yulin Alexander says, good morning, Gordon and your guests. Good morning, Grenada Kayakopi Matnik. Blessings to all on the new week. Have a wonderful, safe, productive day, everyone. Barbara Charles, good morning from another new day. For another new day. Okay. All right. Good. Judy G.E. Baca. Good morning, Mildred and Innocent. Hi, morning. All right, let me see who's on our WhatsApp platform. When I get back into the conversation with Livingston, we'll be talking emancipation. Right, good morning. This is urgent. Let's see. All right, someone says here, for some reason, my WhatsApp seems to be problematic. All right. Morning, Gordon. This is urgent. Someone called emergency for an accident, and the response was that they have to call the police first. Meanwhile, the person is bleeding on the ground. Someone must explain this to me. All right. I would not care to comment on this because I do not know the protocols that are involved. All right. Someone says, beautiful morning to you. Okay. All right. Okay, Livingston, let's entertain this caller before we get into the deeper conversation. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Innocent, and morning to your guests, particularly Muscles.
Morning,
I must say I've been extremely happy with you this year in relation to that song about Calypso is not a sin. In fact, I think it will become a classic if it is not already. Let's just, in terms of my contribution this morning, we have to be honest. Since invasion, the authorities have been under instruction not to teach history, not to celebrate our uniqueness, but to monkey the invaders. And the destruction of Carnival, for instance, started since that time. And I could document that. In addition to that, we have a situation where, for instance, when it comes to our folk songs, how many of us know our folk song? Jamaica, along with a university from Germany, recorded they have all their folk song recorded for perpetuity. We don't sing like that. Even when we talk about culture, it seems as though we only think of our culture as dance and singing, but culture is the whole way of where we live, how we plant, when we plant, all these kind of things. We need to integrate that, how we see life, how we worship, all those things are culture. And we are confused people. What Muscle said in terms of his daughter, I experienced that with even some of the leading people right now, the younger people who have over the years have told me how sorry they are. They don't know anything about, particularly about the period between 79 and 83, because in high school, maybe was that time when his daughter was going to high school, they call it dead man science. So I ask people, have you ever read a book written by, or any other book written by Dame Hilda Bino? And they say, did she write any book? That's to tell you how ignorant we are other people. We need to really, and I'm hoping that the 50th anniversary would help to see a revival and a renaissance among our people. Thank you. I know I cannot continue for the morning. But
Thank you. Thank you, caller. All right, thanks for your contribution. Emancipation, that's a big thing as it relates to our culture. And from the GCF's standpoint, what plans are in place for this celebration this year?
Well, this year we actually have a level of collaboration with the GNRC, with the National Reparation Committee, mainly in the person of Ali Gale. And it has always been our main trust that to see how we could commemorate, to make it more recognizable on national calendar. Sedu for a number of years were actually the flag bearer, but Sedu and legally we celebrate Emancipation on the first Monday of August. Mm-hmm. Legally, the first Monday of August, we celebrate Emancipation. But there is a growing recognition that actually Emancipation is on the 1st of August, irrespective of what day. Yeah. Like Christmas is the 25th.
Okay.
So we're getting back to that as it relates to the Cultural Foundation.
So where did that switch come to the first Monday from the 1st?
I'm not so sure, but I actually believe somebody was trying to explain to me unofficially that because we had a culture where a lot of the elites were horse racing, they used to give the first Monday and the Monday and Tuesday as holidays
for horse racing.
And so they celebrate 2 in 1. So Emancipation was also a big day for horse racing in the earlier days. Now that is unofficial, yeah. So I am saying I don't know where he actually occurred. I thought it started with the realization of Rainbow City of Sedu, but no, I was told it precluded. It was before that.
Okay.
So we're coming back now to Emancipation in terms of what we do. The focus this year, Emancipation, is about the mind. The caller before was, made certain points, whether we were instructed to teach or not to teach history in our school or so. He may have some information I don't have, but be that as it may, we as a people, you see, emancipation is not what other people try to do for you.
It's what you did for yourself.
What you can do for yourself. So what
emancipation is meism.
Right. What are you doing in your corner? What we, the Cultural Foundation, are doing in our corner in order to liberate the minds of our people. Right? And as this whole trust about emancipation is not just about a celebration, a one-day celebration, but it's a constant reminder that we must celebrate those things that belong to us as a people. We must embrace and recognize, while culture might change over a period of time, but we must embrace and recognize the things that make us a unique group of people. And that is where we go in the Cultural Foundation. So we're having a watch night on the 31st. So the watch night is a precaution to the fact that we're saying
31st of
July.
That's tonight.
Yes, tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what I was thinking.
You had me panicking there.
On the Caranage.
Okay.
So on the Caranage, and it's actually a time where we are inviting the Rastafarians and other people to come to do poetry, etc. And we're recognizing that there would be drumming and chanting on the Caranage, opposite by close to where the Romana Park. There's bridge, whatsoever where the boat does birth. Right. And tomorrow now at 10 we are going to be assembling in the drill yard, in the old drill yard, and there we would have what we call a drum call. So you hear the drum when you come, and we're expecting everybody, the whole of Grenada, to dress in African way, at least to make us start to recognize that as part of our heritage, our culture. So from there we then would have what we call a cultural libation. And that for that cultural libation, we would at least cleanse the fact that so many of our ancestors' blood was shed through the era of slavery, of enslavement, and we also would have it as a cleansing to start, to develop our own path. So that is what we would be having, and then we'll do a march from there on to Granby Street. And in Granby Street, we again would have a cleansing of the ground, because knowing the market area was a place where we had the sale, the whip, the sleeves, they had action sale for the sleeve, and they whipped the sleeves, and a series of things took place in that historical venue. And from there, we'd have some short presentation, again some constructive poems, looking at emancipation itself, and then we are going to be reading the Emancipation Proclamation.
But that's happening in town.
That's happening in town, right? And on the 7th, which is the first Monday, which is a holiday, we are going to be having the Rainbow City up in Grenville. We will be having the march, the flambeau march, the drumming, and then cultural performances, etc. So we are going to be doing that same thing.
You're talking there, right? And I went back in the database, and I remembered in my youthful years at the Tivoli RC School, Livingston, you were a little ahead of me. But you remember we used to we had designated days for culture, when guys like Winjo and all those guys and them would come up and beat the drums and do the dances and so forth, but that is no more in school.
Yeah. And the caller previously mentioned about folk songs and things like that, and that is it. If you have your pride in and I think we really lack in that ingredient. If you really have your pride, you would have in our schools, and then you cannot exclude the teachers are the mainstay in terms of the perpetuation and the preservation of our culture. Is from the teachers' point of view. Okay. So we have to get more teachers involved, and we have to allow the teachers. I mean, I'm going to make a statement here that is not part of the program, and it could be a little bit controversial.
But we have the disclaimer clause.
But over the years, I don't think anybody will sue this station. But over the years, what happened with the Ministry of Education, they took away so much of the powers from the teachers. Imagine if a teacher has to go to a field trip, they have to write the ministry to get permission to take your children outside to look at nature, how flowers are blooming, etc. You can't even go and look at the cloud. You can't bring in somebody from outside. So they have actually stifled that level of creativity, and so we must have that engagement that the Ministry of Education must liberate the teachers so the teachers can walk.
Teachers hand tied. We have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. And how are you?
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, what I was saying, you all just talk about in the days when you remember that. But remember again, we're going back there. That is in the days of Mr. Eric. He made that possible. Sponsors, groups. In GBSS, every year you used to have a cultural extravaganza. They with all cultural groups from all over the island, right? Look at that things we did when Jennifer Houston win the Miss World contest, and he called back and say he wanted flowers to plant on the side of the road from Pulse to St. George's. This is how a lot of the flowers you see all Buds Grove, the people start planting flowers. okay, for instance, I just did a little thing last year, March, right? In my area, I put several stones there, and I paint the name of all the different nationality that live in that area. And on the last one, I mark Grenada nice, and I have a Grenada flag flying there. From that time to now, I checked over 105 persons taking pictures there. And up this morning, my dog was barking 6 o'clock. There's someone there taking pictures. So all these things are lifting up your area and making Grenada aware. And that is going all over. Grenada nice. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Grenada is indeed nice. Yeah.
The caller said it's historical fact in terms of there is no leader, there has never been any leader like Eric Machugari in terms of the promotion of our culture and the preservation and the bringing the pride for Grenada.
Highlighting it. He celebrated our local heroes.
Our history. He was the leader that was so much involved with the culture of the people. So I was just check out the book Big Sky Lick a Bullet by Maurice Patterson, and again he pointed out how grounded. I remember people like Levi and Pipey and those big drummers were sent to Carriacou, and Carriacou group used to be coming down on a regular exchange. But the steel band, the embracing of our culture by a leader, he was par excellent.
Anja, Catherine, St. Bernard. What time tomorrow at the Juilliard? 10 in the morning.
This is good information because I'm very interested in this thing. Almost every year I usually attend that, and I didn't even know about it now. So this is valid information right now, and I'll be there with some guests I have. So.
All right, I'm glad you talked because I want to talk to you now. Why you come crying to me this morning?
No, I'm not. I told you already. That was just a tear for just me being here. Happy. That was a happy tear.
That was a happy tear.
That was telling you. I told you this is a happy tear. Just me being here.
Muscles, how is the season going for you thus far?
Every time I'm in Grenada, whatever it is, once I'm here, it's good. It's perfect. Right. It's really, really cool. So,
Calypso.
Well, since I came in here, this is the year I think I got the most practice in a Calypso tent. I sang the most, the most times in shows and stuff. So it was really good. I still enjoying it. Because I know I'm going to be performing other places besides the semi-finals last night. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the next round, but there was 20 of us there, 40 calypsos. You can't have 40 calypsos getting in, so some people have to be out. So I'm cool. I'm gonna go enjoy Mr. Livingston with this Emancipation stuff that going on there. So I might not be thinking about preparing for the final, so I could be free up more and what.
That's a distraction. That's a distraction. Okay.
That's another attraction.
Yeah, it's a distraction from not getting into the final, but it's an attraction into something else. But listen, in your humble opinion, what is your take on the level and the standard and the quality of calypsos this year?
I have a problem with one thing though in our music. We should have more tents in Grenada with better musical accompaniment. Because I was not impressed with most of the other Calypso tents that I went in with the level of music and the production. I hate you perform, you practice one night, and then the next time is a judge in front of judge judging. You don't get a chance to sing your song in front of the audience. I don't care if it's just 10 people. You should be able to perform your song, before you get to judges. We always copy everything from Trinidad and other countries. And if you look at those guys and them, they sing, 6-7 times before the judges is there. That when they performing, they don't have to think.
When I used to sing calypso, I used to do it in front of the mirror at home.
Yeah. But I remember back in the days. Now that I'm very old, but we used to go around all the islands in all around the islands.
Yeah.
And
Samaritan.
School,
River Sally Community Center. The RC school in Lafayette.
Bylands anyway.
While on this, in the interest of time, I'm kind of hopeful that next year would be better because in a conversation with the CEO for Spice Mass, Mr. Noel, he said that plans are already in place to deal with some of these issues next year. Because I don't expect it to happen in 1 year. But in order for the carnival, because carnival is a big product.
This is so big.
Now.
Mr. Livingston said this a while ago with the number of entries that draws people to Grenada, that's so good for the economy. There is people coming in here just for this purpose and spending so much money, you know what I mean, into the economy, you know. So all of the information about emancipation and all those things that people could learn, you know, something from those things in them. You know?
Alpha Faris says, good morning. We gained our emancipation, yet for all we are still enslaved. We need a change in our mindset here in Grenada. We have to start in our schools. Conflict resolution should be part of the emancipation. I am worried about youth. Folks, we'll take a final commercial break, and when we come back, we do the wrap with the program. Don't you go anywhere. Stick and stay with us, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Republic Bank CPL 2023 will be one for the books. The most exciting cricket series, the Caribbean Premier League, is back and bigger than ever. 34 games across 5 territories and only one channel in Grenada, GBN, bringing you live ball-by-ball coverage of the Republic Bank CPL 2023 on GBN television, channel 7 and 11, 20 on cable, from Wednesday, August 16th to Sunday, September 24th. Sponsors, get on board now. Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard On Plus.
When you have mental health disorders, it does not discriminate. It knows not race, class, nothing, gender, it knows nothing. Whoever you are, you can be affected by mental health issues, because whoever you are, you can be affected by stress, and it can start from there. If we think that it is not going to happen to us, that's not true.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome back to the final 3 minutes of the program. It's Livingston and Muscle. That time fly.
Yeah, and I'm in good company, you know. This one is I follow this one years, you know, I mean, with this drumming thing, and I'm in good company.
So hold on, Muscle. Only Livingston is good company.
Well, to tell you the truth, Livingston, you are very good company. I'm in good company with Livingston. Thank you very much, sir, for having me here with you.
Thank you.
You know?
So I'll tell your wife what you're doing with me.
No, we cool like that. Yeah.
So let me say our focus is about empowerment, and empowerment must start in the mind. It has nothing to do with just your accumulation of material or even financially. It starts with your mind, and a cultural foundation, that is our role. We did a Calypso series, actually, since we're part of that, in terms of trying to document the evolution and development of Grenada's Calypso. We now doing what we call cultural tidbits every morning, I think, on GBN.
Yeah, I read one this morning.
Right, we have this cultural tidbit where we're trying to get people to understand and stay in touch with history. That is what would make a difference. We hope to expand that program so people become aware. We have developed a page. We have a group of around 30 traditional practitioners, and on a regular basis we send them similar information, so they become aware of, example, the evolution of jab, the chutney, what it means to be the moko jumbi, those people, and then we would move out of that after Carnival to reflect other areas. But that is what we are hoping to do in the Cultural Foundation. And of course we're going to expand our role. 50th anniversary coming, we must work again to say we're turning a page where we have to stop begging and depending on foreigners to develop Grenada. Our beaches belong to us. We must protect our reserve, our forests. We cannot allow people to deforest our country and claim the beaches, so we have to do that.
2 seconds to wrap up.
Mom, just happy to be here, as you can see. Yes. The glow in my face to eat some oil long, to go up in the country, get some guava from some friend of mine land when he's not looking, when he's not there.
He's not home, but teacher Selma is there.
Yep. I'm just happy to be here, Grenada. It's beautiful, that's all.
Folks, I've got to wrap it up. That has been the conversation this morning, speaking with the CEO of the Grenada Cultural Foundation and my good Calypsonian friend Muscles. That's the conversation. Thank you for being a part of it. We now head on to the BBC. Those of you who participated one way or the other, thank you for your participation. Bye bye for now.